Welcome to Movie House Cinemas. Popcorn? Yes, please. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the movie. Reclining chairs? Don't mind if I do. Action, thriller, romance, we got it all. Discover the cinema today. Movie House Cinemas, home of the movies.
Founded on the principles of inclusivity, empowerment and positivity, I Am Beauty sponsors Robin Elliott tonight.
Good evening, and welcome along to Robin Elliott tonight. Good to have your company once again. Now, coming up on the show this evening, I'll be chatting to Coronation Street bad guy Will Mellor. Of course, he played the part of Harvey Gaskell recently. We'll find out what Will's getting up to. We'll also be chatting to the guys from Northern Ireland Opera about a brand new production of Tosca, which comes to the Grand Opera House. Starting again, coach Amanda Rafferty is also going to be with us in the studio, and we'll be finding out about The Man Who Swallowed a Dictionary, a show that is currently running at Belfast's Lyric Theatre. New music as well from Silent Running and Zac Mac. But let's begin by talking about the arts. And the Belfast International Arts Festival was launched recently. We sent Kim Kelly along to find out what's happening this year, and she also met the fabulous Cara Dillon. Here's what happened.
Hello Robin, and good evening from the University of Ulster. We're here at the launch of the Belfast International Arts Festival for 2023, and oh my goodness, what a lot of entertainment there is going to be. The festival runs in October, and today we're waiting for a very important performance from Cara Dillon. We haven't seen Cara for a long time, so we're really excited about that. So let's see what's going on at Belfast International Arts Festival this year. I'm here with Richard Wakely, who is the artistic director of this wonderful festival. So, Richard, what a wonderful day it is today. You're very artistic.
Thank you very much. It's lovely to be here with you. It's lovely to be here launching the 61st edition of the Belfast International Arts Festival. And we've got a great lineup for you who live in the city, who want to visit the city this coming autumn. We open simultaneously on both sides of the Atlantic this year, first time ever, and I think it's the first for any Irish festival. So in middle of October we open a production on Broadway with the wonderful Cahoots NI, a lovely piece called The Vanishing Elephant, which will come to us eventually in 2024. But on this side of the Atlantic we open the festival on the 11th of October with a wonderful play by Gary Mitchell called Burnt Out at the Lyric Theatre. And there's plenty to see and do over the ensuing 3 or 4 weeks, right to the 5th of November. My hand is actually on this box, and it's for a reason, and it's because this is one of my favourite events for this year. It's a wonderful, colourful, big, exciting contemporary circus production called Feek. And Feek comes to us from North Africa. Great, exciting acrobats doing extreme moves. This is on the Grand Opera House on the 20th and the 21st of October. It's something for all of the family, and you'll never have seen anything like it before. A really must-see event. And of course, we've got other great artists. We've got wonderful artists from our own community as well. The lovely Cara Dillon is performing again at the Opera House. Conor Mitchell and the Belfast Ensemble again at the Opera House. I've mentioned the Lyric Theatre. We've got terrific dance as well this year. Eileen McClory with her new work called Gutter at the Mac. And there's so much else to see. So it's all available online from today at www.belfastinternationalartsfestival.com. Please come and be with us this October and November.
I will be hosting a chat with Paul Charles about his brilliant book Adventures in Wonderland, which is a whole history of what Paul's done in the music business, which stretches back over 4 decades through some of the biggest names, from Tom Waits through all the wonderful people like the Undertones that he's worked with. He is one of the key figures in the modern music industry, and he's a man from Macclesfield, so it's great to celebrate him. It's great to see his book out, and it's just wonderful to be able to celebrate a local figure who's been involved in the magic of music. That's going to be a real highlight for me of this year's festival, but there's so many anyway. It's just a wonderful lineup, and it's going to be a brilliant, brilliant event.
I'm now here with Mr. Ryan Murphy, who is the new mayor of Belfast, and he's here at this wonderful launch. So, Ryan, can I call you Ryan?
Yeah, that's fine, yeah, perfect.
Ryan, what do festivals like this mean to Belfast?
Well, first of all, I think it's fantastic for the city. It's fantastic for the city in terms of bringing tourists in, bringing people from right across the island to the city of Belfast. We are a city of artists after all, so it's fantastic. Not only that, we've also got eager audiences, people who are actually willing to come out and see some of the performances that are on show as well.
And there's some wonderful performances. Now, a little bird told me that you're a big fan of Cara Dillon. She's playing A in the Opera House.
Yeah, no, really looking forward to seeing Cara, especially getting to see her perform even today at the launch as well. So she's fantastic and looking forward to it.
I know we are really, really lucky. So what are you planning to do for the rest of your year as Mayor of Belfast?
Throughout the year, one of the things we've actually been doing at the minute is a lot of engagement with communities right across the city of Belfast. Getting them in the City Hall, but also getting out and seeing some of the positive work that they're doing. Being one of the younger mayors as well, we have a bit of a focus on younger people and actually trying to celebrate and recognise some of the achievements that they've made and the contributions that they've made to the city as well.
Love is gentle and love's kind. The sweetest love.
So I'm here with the wonderful Cara Dillon, who for me is the star of the show. I'm a huge, huge fan, and I know that a lot of our viewers are too. You're doing a show for the festival, and it's called Coming Home. Now, we feel like we haven't seen you in a while. Where have you been, Cara?
Well, I live in Somerset, in a wee town called Frome, and although you haven't seen me, I do quite a lot of work over around England. We play lots of art centres and festivals there. And, I keep saying, we need to get back over here more. And apart from just doing a couple of low-key gigs in Limavady at the Art Centre there last year, we've decided to just hold off for a new album, which is now ready. So it'll be released officially in February. It's called Coming Home. And so obviously it's wonderful to be performing at the Opera House as part of the Arts Festival. I can't wait. And I'll be unveiling all my new material there.
Fantastic. And what can we expect from Coming Home?
Coming Home is, I would say, my most personal album to date. It's about where I'm from and the people and growing up in County Derry and the characters that I knew, and just it's about me. And it's very personal, and it's something that's very close to my heart. Definitely, I'm very proud of it,
I was reading about you recently. Now, you said there, you used the word low-key, which of course you are quite a low-key artist. I mean, you don't seek fame. But I read recently that people like Sam Smith cite you as a musical influence. How does that make you feel? And I think the other was Ed Sheeran, the mighty Ed Sheeran. I mean, that must feel great.
It's amazing, really. I mean, I just do what I do, and I'm from Dungiven, down the road, and but I just can't get over that. Like, while I released my first album, people like Ed Sheeran and Sam Smith and Ellie Goulding were all listening to that, and they were like, Sam Smith messaged me one time, and he just went, "Oh my God, I learned to do some of the ornamentation from listening to you." And it just shows you that I think really good artists who are genuine about their work, they're open-minded and they listen to all sorts, even folk music. So it's good. I'm delighted that they love it. So
it is. It's good too that they know that you're from here as well. It's absolutely terrific. So what do we expect next from you? Will there be a tour coming up?
Yeah, there'll be a tour in the autumn. Obviously unveiling the project at the Opera House here, and then I've also got a book. So a book which I believe, obviously the book came first. and then Sam decided the poetry needed the music. So I think they belong together. It's like I described to somebody the other day, if the poems were the heart, the music's the soul of the project. They kind of, and in the book I write about what inspired me to write the poems. So I think they're a really nice couple. So that'll be coming out again as well in February. So there's a lot going on.
There is an awful lot going on, and you're obviously a woman of many, many talents. You're a singer, a writer, and everything, and now we've got this show. Where can we get tickets for this show?
Well, I believe you can, obviously contact the Opera House, and I'm sure if you got in touch with the Belfast International Arts Festival, they would point you in the right direction.
Fantastic, and I would advise you to get those tickets very, very soon, because Cara, she always sells out.
My love and I.
My hair is different, but I am somebody. I am black, brown, white. I speak a different language, but I must be respected, protected, never rejected. I am God's child. I am somebody. Give yourself a big hand.
So there we go, Kim Kelly having lots of fun at the launch of this year's Belfast International Arts Festival. On the way shortly, we'll be finding out about a brand new production of Tosca from Northern Ireland Opera, together with the Ulster Orchestra. And we'll be chatting to actor Will Mellor about the pressures that parents are facing as the cost of living crisis hits pocket money. We're going to find out more right after these.
Founded on the principles of inclusivity, empowerment and positivity, I Am Beauty sponsors Robin Elliott Tonight.
Heading to the North Coast, the Jet Centre in Coleraine offers entertainment for everyone. There's an 8-screen movie house cinema with all the best movies, 10-pin bowling, a massive arcade, soft play for the wee ones. Outdoors, there's a mini fun park and gem mining, plus an 18-hole floodlit mini golf course. Rain or shine, there's something for everyone here at the Jet Centre. Find out more at thejetcentre.co.uk.
Founded on the principles of inclusivity, empowerment and positivity, I Am Beauty sponsors Robin Elliott Tonight.
And welcome back to Robin Elliott Tonight. Now, if you've been watching Coronation Street over the past year, you'll know all about bad guy Harvey Gaskell, played by actor Will Mellor. We're going to chat to Will in just a second about some of the pressures that parents are facing as the cost of living crisis rises, and it's now affecting pocket money as well. Let's find out more, because Will joins us on the line. How are you?
I'm very well, mate. I'm all good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. So let's take a look at some of this new research then, carried out by Metro Bank. What have we discovered, and were you surprised by anything?
Yeah, it's some of it's quite sad, actually, that, 1 in 4 parents are actually stopping giving the children pocket money. And one of the worst ones for me is 43% of parents are having to actually borrow money from their children, with only 5% being able to pay it back. Nobody wants that situation, and it is the cost of living crisis. And I think pocket money was different when I was a kid. I'm 47 now. Pocket money was different because, you wash your dad's car or something, you get a quid. And I grew up on a council estate. We had nothing. I'm very proud of being from a working class background, and we all had nothing. So you just help each other out. You go and see a neighbour who could cut hair, and my dad would fix their car for doing that. And, you do favours. But the value of pocket money, I think, is the first lesson in in the value of money and how to budget, and do you need it or do you want it? And I think now everything costs so much money and constant as well. You know, with especially my daughter's a teenager, and she always needs something new. You know, it's like, oh, I need this, Dad. It's a new thing that's come out and everyone's wearing it. And then now what I've done to battle that is she's got her own bank account now, and she wants to buy something online. It comes out of her account, and suddenly she doesn't need it anymore. Well, she needed it when I was paying for it. Suddenly she wants it, but it's not a necessity. And I think that's the start of learning the value of need and want, but also budgeting for the more important things. And I think that's what Metro Bank are doing here. They've got a money zone program where they're trying to help young people learn how to budget, understand money. They're going into schools. They've up to 250,000 kids already. You can go to the bank and learn about it. And I think it's supporting parents, so it's not just about pocket money that can teach this lesson.
So would you encourage kids to go out and get a part-time job then?
100%. I think having a part-time job and earning your money is the first step on the ladder to understanding what life's about and valuing it. Because my daughter's very good at spending my money, but she don't like spending her own. And I was like, yeah, now you're starting to understand. You know, now she's 15, just turned 15. You know, you have to buy things yourself, unless it's your birthday or Christmas, you know, or a special occasion. Then no, and all of a sudden, she values it a bit more. And I'm not the best parent in the world at being, what did you call it, protective of money, because I spend too much on my kids and I spoil them, and I don't mean to. I just want them to have what I didn't have as a kid. Yeah. But my wife is a bit stricter on that, and I'm glad for it, because if it was just me, yeah, my kids would be a lot worse off. But I am getting better at it now, because now I'm realizing how much things are costing, and I'm like, there's no chance. So yeah, so setting up kids with their own accounts, I think, is a good way forward.
So when you were growing up, was acting and singing something you always wanted to do, or did that come at a later stage in your life?
No, I've been on TV since I was 12. As soon as I could, I was on a stage. I was very different than all the other kids on the estate. I just wanted to perform. That's all. I was a boxer at 7. My dad put me in a boxing ring. My dad was a boxer. My uncle boxed. But apart from boxing, it was, entertaining people, making people laugh. And that's what the problem I had at school was. All I wanted to do was entertain people rather than listen in classes. So I was a bit of a nightmare for teachers. They didn't know what to do with me. But my parents, there was a new agent that was opening their books to any street talent. And I went in and I got in the agency. They just thought I had something about me. I was confident. And then I started getting auditions and I was getting the parts. And then, as I say, I was on TV at 12. And then I didn't look back from when I was 19. I've been professional ever since. But I obviously did Children's Ward and Brookside and commercials when I was growing up and things like that. But yeah, it was always in me. Something that is inside me and born to do. And I can't explain why. It just is who I am.
Now, we saw you in Coronation Street recently playing the part of the bad guy, Harvey, who was really scary. So that must have been a fun part to do.
Loved it. I loved it. I always said if Coronation Street come knocking, I'll do this. I'll do it if I'm available. I don't want to be in it for a long, long period, because I love doing my dramas and my comedies and other stuff. I like to move around and do different things. But the character was perfect because I don't play many bad guys, and it was a real baddie. You know, it wasn't like a fake one. Yeah. It was an important lesson that these drug dealers getting young kids to sell drugs for them and putting pressure on them and in communities, and to be a part of something, a gang or whatever. And yeah, he's in prison at the moment, and I don't think that's the end of him. I think you might see him again. I know he broke out of prison and killed someone, but I think there might be more prison stuff to do. And I love playing the character, so as long as they need him to come back, I'll come back and play it, because he's great to play. You can have a lot of fun playing bad guys.
What about your experience on Strictly as well? Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it's weird because when you're in it, it's terrifying, painful on your body, especially at my age, training 6 days a week. But yeah, I miss it now. And it's amazing. You're in this bubble, and it's coming round. It'll be here again in the next few months, and I'm not sure how comfortable it's going to be to watch my partner dance with somebody else. It feels like she's cheating on me. It's weird. It's just like, she's mine. She danced with me, and I'll be like, she used to dance with me like that. You know what I mean? But it's an amazing bubble, and I'm glad I did it for the right reasons. And it was good for my family to come on the journey with me, and my mum loved every bit of it. I had my mum on the front row at Blackpool, and it was a dream. So, you know, if it was just for that reason, it was worth doing. And
how do your kids react to having a famous dad?
Well, I've been on TV since they were born, so they don't know any different. I'm just dad. I'm embarrassing dad most of the time, but I think that's one of my biggest jobs and biggest successions in my life is to be a successful, embarrassing dad. If there's a stage and we're on holiday and there's a talent show, I'm still going, I'll do that. Michael Jackson impersonation, give it here, I'll have a go. And the kids are like, Dad, don't you dare. But I love it, you know, and they came and supported me on Strictly, and they loved it, and they said they were proud of me, and that's all I ever want. But I am just dad to them. I'm just me, and that's all they ever want to be.
So what's next for you then? Any exciting acting projects that we should know about?
Yeah, I've just finished an ITV drama. It's a 4-parter with Toby Jones about the post office scandal. They're doing a dramatisation of it. Obviously, I play a real person, and it's horrendous what's happened to them, and unbelievable story. If it wasn't real, you wouldn't believe it. But it's that'll be out Christmas time or January on ITV1, 4-part drama with a documentary to follow, and that's going to be very big. So I'm looking forward to people seeing that. Again, another different character, a real person. And then I have a series called Cops Who Kill, which I've shot last year, which has already been out on Crime and Investigation. Get it on Crime and Investigation Plus. With the next series is called Cops Gone Bad. So it's again rogue police doing things they shouldn't be doing, and I speak to specialists and ex-police to see how we can eradicate this from happening.
Well, it's been great talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Have a great day, man.
So we're going to talk opera now, and in particular Puccini's political thriller Tosca, which comes to the Grand Opera House between the 9th and the 16th of September. It's being produced by Northern Ireland Opera together with the Ulster Orchestra, and I'm pleased to say that two of the stars of the show, Brendan Collins and Aaron O'Hare, join us now. Guys, thank you for joining us. Tell us about Tosca, because it's an opera that has everything, doesn't it? It has murder, mystery, love, it has it all.
It's a great night at the theatre. Yeah. It's what you want.
And of course, like all productions from Northern Ireland Opera, it's a big show, isn't it?
It is. This is actually the biggest that NI Opera has ever done. Without revealing too much, the sets are absolutely huge. There's a chorus of over 60, huge orchestra, and all the principals. It's going to be epic.
Now, last year you did La Traviata, which became the fastest-selling opera ever at the Grand Opera House, didn't it?
That's right, and for good reason. It was a fantastic show, and as always, we're looking to beat it this year.
So tell us about Tosca then. Tell us about the characters that you guys play.
I play Spoletta, who is one of 2 main henchmen to Scarpia, which Brendan is playing. So I get to do kind of all the dirty work that Scarpia basically tells me to do. Find the political enemy of the state, Angelotti, who's currently in hiding, who Cara, who's a painter, is hiding at his house. And our main objective is to try and find this guy who's escaped. And Brendan's kind of the overlord telling us where to go and where to look.
That's right. I'm the chief of police, Baron Scarpia. And for my money, he's the best, worst bad guy in all of opera. Yeah. You know, there's not many kind of bad guys in the world of opera that are worse than Scarpia. You know, apart from the fact that he's a hypocrite and he's a deviant but he's just a good person. You know, it's amazing character to play. I would not want to meet him.
It's always fun to play the baddies.
Oh yeah.
And of course, it's always better to be bad than good in these shows, isn't it?
Yeah, way more fun.
They always, if you watch a Bond movie, you remember the villains. You'll remember us. It's good.
What about the music in Tosca as well? Because it's just fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's some of the greatest, music, but also some of the Puccini's, in my opinion, some of his most finest writing. Like the drama is all just in the music as well as, which makes it easier for us on stage to kind of bring it to life. Because it's all just in the score. As we were saying before, the orchestra is massive, the chorus is massive. It's just the sound in the room at the minute is just completely kind of overwhelming. So I can't wait to hear it in the theatre. Yeah.
And it's, Puccini, apart from the fact that he knew how to write a tune, more importantly, he knew how to write for the stage. There's a lot of opera composers and there's amazing music, but dramatically they may not be the best, but Puccini was a man of the theatre, and he really, really knew how to write for the stage.
Now, as well as the production of Tosca on the main stage at the Grand Opera House, there's also workshops taking place as well. And there's one where anybody can come along and learn a bit of opera, can't they?
That's right.
Yeah, I think our assistant conductor, Matthew Quinn, is taking a series of come and sings, ranging from, I think, a wide spectrum of repertoire. So anyone who wants to give a go can just show up and, in safety in numbers, as they say. So if you've not sung before, everyone's going to be giving it a go. So it's a great place to kind of just see what your voice can do.
Robin, you're more than welcome. Come along.
Well, I can't even sing normally, never mind opera.
You don't need to be able to sing opera. Just come along and sing.
So how about both of you then? What kind of training did you go through?
We're still training.
Yeah, it's one of those things that never really stops. I know for me, I caught the singing bug, if you like, when I joined the Ulster Youth Choir, which is now called the National Youth Choir of Northern Ireland. I was 15 and I'm now 33, so that kind of fueled the fire for me. So I went to music college and met my vocal coach there, my teachers and stuff, and I'm still regularly having lessons. As I say, it's one of those things that I don't think you can ever really stop kind of tweaking. Yeah.
Because we met on the very first Northern Ireland Opera.
Exactly, we did, yeah.
Yeah, the very first NI Opera show was in 2011, and it was in Derry, and it was Tosca. So back then I was playing the sacristan, which is a kind of a comic character in Act 1, and now I'm in the baddie, and you were in...
I was in the chorus, so I was a little 21-year-old, I think. I was in the chorus and covering Sharona, who is the other henchman alongside me this time, but now I'm playing Spoletta. So it's really nice kind of full circle in a way to come back to the NI Opera, and for the two of us to be kind of doing the show again. It's great.
And it's great because, as a company, they're very, very supportive of singers and singers' career and bringing people back. This is my 9th production with NI Opera. I know I've risen through the ranks along with yourself, and it's lovely. And, it feels like a second home when you come back. It's great.
Yeah. And there's nothing like working at home, to a home crowd. It's just on the island. It's always great.
Well, Tosca opens at the Grand Opera House on the 9th of September. Just to finish on, tell us all why we should come and see the show then.
I think you should come see in Tosca because, as I said, for those of you who haven't been to the opera before, it's an amazing one to start. You've got drama, as you said, love, murder, mystery. It's just full of drama. The music is insanely good. I can't stress that enough.
And there's an ending you will not see coming.
Yes.
Well, I'm intrigued. I can't wait to see it. Brendan and Aaron, thank you for joining us, and the best of luck with Tosca.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Right, still to come, some brand new music from Zac Mac and also Silent Running, and we'll be chatting to a starting again coach. Amanda Rafferty joins us right after these.
Founded on the principles of inclusivity, empowerment and positivity, I Am Beauty sponsors Robin Elliott Tonight.
Here we are on the north coast where sporting legends are made. He needs this putt to advance to the next stage, but can he do it? The crowd are holding their breath. Can he cope with the pressure?
Dad, would you take the shot?
Yes! Yeah. Well.
Founded on the principles of inclusivity, empowerment and positivity, I Am Beauty sponsors Robin Elliott Tonight.
And welcome back to Robin Elliott Tonight. Still to come between now and the end of the show, we'll have some great new music from Zac Mac and A Silent Running, and we'll find out about the Lyric Theatre's production of The Man Who Swallowed a Dictionary. Before that, here's what happened when I caught up with Amanda Rafferty in the studio recently. Now, my next guest on the show this evening will hopefully inspire some of you who's watching the show tonight. She calls herself a starting again coach. We're going to find out more about that because Amanda Rafferty is here. How are you?
I am very well, Robin. How is yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. So thank you for joining us. So tell me first of all, what exactly is a starting again coach then?
A coach who helps people who are starting again. So I work mainly with people who are starting over after the end of a marriage or relationship. Okay,
and of course there are probably a lot of people watching this now can relate to that, and probably a lot of people find themselves kind of stuck and don't kind of know how to move on.
Yeah, and you know, you get to that kind of stage, and it's something that I'll hear quite a lot is, have I left it too late? And that will also keep a person stuck because they think, sure, what's the point now? But I like to remind people that there is life after separation, and you know, you're never too old, it's never too late, and you know, there's a big world out there, and don't deprive yourself of experiencing it.
Well, that's what I was going to say, because there are people who might have been in marriages for 20, 25, even 30 years who've decided to call it a day and thinking, what do I do? What do I do now?
Yeah, very much so. And especially, you know, whenever maybe kids come along and you have put yourself so far down the pecking order that whenever, like as you said, there are 20 years, 30 years, sometimes more, it's so unusual, and you're like going, but I have never put myself first. I don't know what to do. But like myself, I left a marriage after 19 years, and I'm not saying it's a bed of roses, but it's definitely better to be out on your own and sort of taking it one step at a time and trying to navigate what the next step is, rather than being in a relationship that you're just drowning in.
So picking yourself up again, it's a process you have to go through, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how long did it take you to kind of feel how great you are now? Because we're watching your videos and stuff on social media, and you seem like you're having a great life.
Life is good. Yeah. Life is good. Now, the thing is, I was the one ended my marriage, and I did go through a process of still, you know, feeling sad and feeling lonely and feeling lost and overwhelmed and all the words and emotions that you feel. And I would have felt guilty as well, because I was thinking, but I shouldn't be feeling these because I'm the one that ended it. But whether you have ended it or whether you haven't, you're still going to go through those emotions and allow yourself to. But my motto in life is always one step at a time. Yeah. Don't look too far ahead, because if you're trying to figure out all the answers and what about the kids and what am I going to do next and what about and what if, and you'll just, as I said, you'll overwhelm yourself. So one step at a time. I'm
glad you mentioned kids there, because when it comes to thinking about families who have kids, that's a difficult decision to make. And how do you tell the kids? How do you support the kids through that as well, isn't it?
And the thing as well, Robin, is that stay together for the kids is probably way up there, near enough at the top, if not the top reason why people stay together in relationships that are not working. Yeah. Because it's better to have the family unit together rather than, and this is a term, and I know it's, you know, the proper term for it, but a broken family and how that's going to impact on the kids. But my opinion is it's better for the kids to have two parents who are separate and happy than living in an environment that is maybe toxic, you're walking on eggshells, nobody is speaking to each other, or maybe the other way, there's, you know, constant arguments. That's not going to benefit the kids in any way, shape or form.
Tell me about your life then. How did you end up becoming a life coach?
Well, it started, I would say about 12, 13 years ago, I got into the coaching world. Before that, I had worked in a veterinary surgeons.
Really?
I did, yes.
Wow.
Yes, for about 15 years in total.
Right.
And then when my youngest was born, Aoife, I decided to, you know, stay at home because James and Emma, my elder two, oldest two, everything just happened so quickly, and I was only working part-time at that stage, but still, you miss different things.
Yes, yeah.
So I thought, right, with Aoife, I'm just going to stay at home. But whenever I stayed at home for a wee while, confidence and things like that kind of started to disappear, because I was in the house all day. Wee bit of housework, then go to the school, stand at the school gate, kids, home, homework. Wee bit more housework.
And I can imagine there's people watching this now who said, that's my life she's talking about.
And you're like on autopilot. And it's the same thing. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I was completely losing as cliche as this sounds, but I was losing me. And then I came to, a few of my friends laugh at this when I say, I came to this crossroads. And then I was having a conversation with my hairdresser, and he said, Amanda, you've always kind of been into fashion. What about a personal shopper? So I kind of thought about it for about a year, because confidence had gone, and I was like, no, I couldn't do that. How would I know how to style people? But eventually I did a wee bit of research, and I decided on a style coach, which is a combination of a personal stylist and a life coach. So I did that, and I loved it. I loved the fashion shows and wardrobe decluttering and all of that there. But what I noticed was I got more of a buzz from hearing the person's story. And like, I could have been sitting across from them and kind of going, oh, we were meant to go shopping, and you've just been so engrossed in, you know, what they wanted to do in life and how they've lost their way and all of that kind of stuff. So I did that for a while, and then about 8-9 years ago maybe, from a sore throat I took strep A that turned toxic, and I ended up, my body went into toxic shock. So I may not have been here today.
So we're talking life-saving surgery for you,
Yes. So I was in high dependency in Daisy Hill. And I know some people might think, oh, whenever you have a near-death experience, like everything in your life changes, and that didn't quite happen for me. It was a gradual kind of thing. So, you know, come out of the work or coaching for a while, and then when I was going back into it again, I thought, I'm going to park the styling and I'm just going to focus on the coaching side of it. And I would work more with mummies, because that's what I was at the time. I still am a mummy, but you know what I mean? So I did that for another however many years, and then my dad unfortunately passed away. It'll be 5 years now on the 1st of September, 7 weeks after he was diagnosed with cancer. And that was probably my aha moment for, right, I'm in a marriage that's just, we're going in two completely different directions. Life is too short. And I've talked about this on Instagram, that I was also, not that long after Daddy had passed away, I was having a conversation with somebody who had just come out of a relationship. And I was sitting, chatting to her and advising her, and, you know, not telling her what to do, but just, you know, giving her a wee bit of support and advice. And in my head, I'm thinking, Amanda, you are a hypocrite. You are sitting here saying to her, this is what you deserve, and you're going home to a marriage that you are unhappy in, very unhappy. And I'd just like to point out, I know some people, you'll maybe hear this bandied about, people give up too easily when it comes to marriages ending and relationships ending. Trust me, there might be the odd one, but very few people have not thought about it, dissected it, put it back together again, thought about it, thought, no, I can't, talk themselves into it, talk themselves out of it. So it most definitely is not a decision taken lightly. So then I decided, right, life's too short, etc., etc. So after I took a wee break from that, I've had a few sabbaticals along over the years, I decided, right, I'm going to focus on people who are in the same situation that I was in, just starting again, getting back out there after the end of a marriage.
What about people who are starting again, getting back out there and are thinking about dating again? Because I know a lot of people who have tried to do this and they've started to go on the dating sites which really do not work at all.
Well, for each one of us, what we believe to be true is going to be true for us. And I know there are so many people, when it comes to like dating apps, are like horrified and no, they are soul destroying, I don't want to go on them. And then on the flip side, you will hear lots of positive stories about them. Now, when it comes to dating advice, and I'm in no way implying that I've got it perfected, I will never tell somebody not to go on to, whether it's dating apps or organic dating or speed dating. Yes. But you must, and this is, I will preach this from the rooftops, you must work on you alongside it. And you will have, you know, as I say, there's lots of dating advice out there. Some of it can be contradictory and you end up feeling overwhelmed by, and you're going, well, this one said you shouldn't do, and somebody else said, no, it's okay to do that. It's what you think up here with regards you, with regards love, dating, relationships, and you in a relationship. And you can write out everything you want in your perfect partner. And you can go out there and meet people, etc., etc. But if in the background, on loop is relationships don't work out for you, men always cheat, women are high maintenance, this is going to turn to whatever, that's what's going to keep showing up in your reality. So you have to also be careful about what you're thinking when it comes to dating. And if you constantly think, nah, I'm never going to meet anyone, I'm going to be on my own forever, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, there's a high possibility that might happen. So you want to change that story.
Yeah.
By all means, write out your list of what you're looking for, but please make sure what's going on up here, that the two marry, and that I am lovable, I deserve to be in a healthy, fulfilling, happy relationship.
You're very active on your socials every day as well. You're always posting little nuggets of advice and stuff, aren't you?
Anti-Mandy. And you know what, Robin, I have to say, I know, again, it depends on the person. I don't plan ahead with what I'm going to say. If I'm maybe my usual trip, rock and roll lifestyle, going round to the shop to get a coffee, and then I'll come back and I'll have a thought and go, okay, right, that's what I'm going to talk about. It's not about followers, however. It kind of is, because the more followers you have, for me, this is for myself, that means there's more people hearing that it's okay for you to, or there is, as I said already, there is life after separation. I'm not too old, it's not too late. That more people get to hear the message. And that's ideally what I want to do, is to have more people realise that you don't just have to plod along. You don't have to just exist. Live, 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 live.
Well, there we go. Sadly, we're out of time.
Oh.
But we come back and talk to us again some other time.
Absolutely, it would be my pleasure.
Good to see you. Thank you for coming in.
Likewise. Thanks, Robin.
Now, time for some brand new music, and Silent Running have just confirmed a gig at Voodoo in Belfast on the 6th of October. They've also got a brand new single which has just been released called Faith Healer, and here is the new music video.
In my head, but your heart beats like a metronome, and it sounds like home. Tells me I'm not alone. Faith healer, lay your hands on me, lay your hands on me, lay your hands on me. Faith healer, show me how to believe, show me how to be.
Brand new music from Silent Running, that's called Faith Healer, and you can catch the guys live at Voodoo in Belfast on the 6th of October. And on the night as well, they're going to be raising money for local pancreatic cancer charity, NI Pank. We'll be talking about the man who swallowed a dictionary right after these.
Founded on the principles of inclusivity, empowerment and positivity, I Am Beauty sponsors Robin Elliott Tonight.
Let the good times roll at Super Strikes at the Jet Centre. You can now book your lane online. We've got 14 bowling lanes and 4 mini bowling lanes. Plus we serve delicious hot food and snacks, or enjoy a cold beverage with your food after the game. Discover bowling today at the Jet Centre. Jet Centre, entertainment for everyone.
Founded on the principles of inclusivity, empowerment and positivity, I Am Beauty sponsors Robin Elliott Tonight.
Now, a new play all about the life of politician David Ervine is currently running at the Lyric Theatre here in Belfast. It's called The Man Who Swallowed a Dictionary, and it runs right through until the 10th of September before going on tour. I was at the launch recently. Here's what happened. First thing that strikes you about this show is the title, The Man Who Swallowed a Dictionary. That's a genius title for a play, isn't it?
The very first thing that caught my attention when the lad Bobby Niblock, who's a contemporary of David's and was in jail with him, sent me the play. And I thought, what a brilliant title, you know, to start with. But it is indicative of when I remember David Ervine coming on TV and using words. I'm not a very educated person, but I didn't know them or hear of them before, and I thought he knows a lot of good words. But apart from the title, the story is just too strong to give up or to pass over. David Ervine has probably been the best spokesperson for the Protestant working class in 50 years. Yeah. And people still today, actually in both communities, lament that he had died, and they say that he would have been great, you know, if he was still around. So that story and that representation of the Protestant working class through the Troubles is very prominent in the play.
So playing a character like David Ervine, somebody who's been so famous, there must be a lot of pressure on you to get it right then.
Yeah, frankly, I mean, there's no denying that, you know. I mean, I haven't had a squeaky bum moment just yet. I'm sure that will happen.
Yeah.
That said, you know, nobody's forcing me to do this. You know, it's a choice. I've been an actor for a long time. Jobs like this come along sort of once in a blue moon, and you go, "Wow, this is great." But yeah, no, we're excited about the team are behind me. Not even the team are behind me. The majority of people that I have spoken to about Davy's influence, he meant so much to people.
Exactly.
I think obviously with the 25th year of the agreement and stuff, you know, there's a lot of stuff in the press and the news about that. Our journey with this is a very emotional one. Yeah. The research we've done has been immersive from an acting point of view. It's been very, very immersive. But the stuff that I found out about Davy and his personal life, you know, we went to the Raven Club and met, you know, some of his friends, people he worked with, guys he had a pint with, you know, his colleagues. Yeah. And what I wanted to know was the Davy that we see on camera, or was he a different guy? You know, as we all are to a greater or lesser degree, and you know, different facets to his life. And he was very funny and just, you know, didn't take himself too seriously, you know. But when you literally look back in history, in the history of this place, this weird little sort of, you know, enclave that we live in, Northern Ireland, which is great. he kind of just was miles ahead of everybody else. He wasn't the only kind of person speaking for the Progressive Unionist Party. Obviously, you know, Hugh Smith and Hutchie and you know, before that sort of Gusty Spence and all these people. But the through line for it all was, you know, for working class Protestant people to you know, trying to get better education, better housing, all that stuff. But Davy's agenda, if that's the right word, was for everybody.
Yes.
You know, and a big thing for him was to sit down with the Shinners, sit down with SDLP, sit down with whoever.
Yes.
And the amount of time he was up and down to Dublin, you know, like a fiddler's elbow.
Exactly.
Speaking to people. So that was good and very brave. I mean, one of the things that we found out as well, and it maybe sounds silly and something obvious that, you know, people in the public don't think about, he got a lot of death threats, Robin.
Exactly, yes.
You know,
yes,
you put yourself up there, you put yourself in the public domain, you know, and he sticks his head above the parapet for everybody. And some of the people on his own side, I suppose, on his own kind of loyalist background, they weren't too happy about that, you know. And he was a family man, he was a father, he was a grandfather, he was a Glen Torrance supporter, you know, so, you know, think of that what you will. But it's a joy for me. The job at hand now is to get it right, get it on the stage, do Davy justice, to circle right back to what you were sent to, feel the pressure of it a bit.
So will we discover anything about David Ervine that we didn't already know?
Well, I did in the researching of it and in the development of it. I think things will certainly be discovered about him that people didn't know about the peace process, that they didn't know about the deals, about the hard work, and also about his personal life. I mean, it's been a total eye-opener to me, the whole experience.
So if David was still around today and he was looking at his own working class community, what do you think he would make of it, what's happening today?
I think he would appreciate that there are struggles, that what he said in the end wasn't unanimously accepted by his own, but I think he would understand that there's always a journey to go, and he'd be rooting them on because he was an East Belfast boy born and bred, and he loved his community, and I think that was one of the main things that motivated him.
Can you tell us a little about the relationship that you had with your father? What was that like?
I had a good relationship with my father in the later years. The earlier years, nah. When he got out of jail and stuff like that there, I didn't, me and him didn't really see eye to eye. It was hard for me to adjust, it was hard for him to adjust. And it was difficult for both of us, which led to a difficult few years. But in my later years, where I grew to understand my father a wee bit more, and he grew to understand me a wee bit more, it was good. We had a good relationship then.
And what about the time when he was in jail? That must have been a tough time for your family.
It was tough for, I think, my mother. I got a day off school, like once a week. So it was brilliant for me.
Throughout your dad's political career as well, did you realise how much of an influential person he was to Northern Ireland, or was he just your dad?
Well, for all of it, he was just my dad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'd have seen him outside what normal people, well, beyond the television and beyond the radio or whatever, I'd have seen him beyond that. I knew him as a person.
Yeah.
And he was always that person to me. So that's the way it was for me, do you know what I mean? I never seen him as a personality or a... He was just my dad.
Okay, so obviously we've got the play coming up really shortly. How do you think you're going to feel watching it in the opening night?
Well, I don't know. I'll have to watch it first to see what it's like. Number one, I would see, is it a good play? Has it been well written? And does it reflect David and his personality and his life? Yeah. So, yes, I would hope. But I know the guy, the playwright, and I believe he'll do a very good job.
Obviously, we knew David for what we saw on TV, David the politician. You knew him best. What was he like as a brother?
he was always sort of getting me into trouble because he was when he was a kid, very, very small. He was a toddler, and a lot of kids in the backyard. And we lived in a 2-up, 2-down house, and we had a tin bath. And my sister had clothes steeping in the bath. There was boiling water, and Dave backed into it, and I pulled him out of it, and he was scarred from the nape of his neck to his backside. So I was always pulling him out of hot water after that. So he was always a cheeky cat when he was growing up. He had fought Goliath. The only point is, it was Goliath. He was 2 heads higher than him, and I had to go and rescue him, so a lot of it. And then he came of age when he was able to handle himself, you know. Yeah.
And what were your thoughts when he entered the world of politics then?
Well, I advised him too, because he had been involved in paramilitarism and stuff, you know, because he joined the paramilitaries after the Bloody Friday. And and he was involved, and so I recommended that he go into politics, yeah, because he had something to say. And I think also that Gusty Spence made him think while he was in Longcash, why are you here? Yeah. Well, I'm here because, no, he says, why are you here? Yeah. What are you doing here? Yeah. Think. So he made him think. And so he had a very good influence and positive influence on his life, and in many lives, as a matter of fact. He made him think, and then he began to think politically. And he found out he had a very good political brain. Excellent political brain, as a matter of fact.
The Green Shoot Commission is to articulate the working class voice, wherever it comes from. But the great thing about the play is it deals with not just David's political activities, but his personal life, and at least one major tragedy in his own personal life that the public just don't know about.
There are going to be big surprises in the
show. There will be big surprises all along about his personal life. I mean, this is a boy who grew up in a Labour household. His father was a Labour supporter. Working class East Belfast, Chamberlain Street. Left school at 15. Joined UVF when he was 19. Did 5 years in prison. And then came out a changed man. Came out with the slogan, we need to share this community. We need to have a shared responsibility. And that became his mantra all the way through. And then following that right through to his lateral successes, and his great single biggest achievement was bringing the Protestant working class to the Good Friday Agreement. I mean, if he's not remembered for anything, he should be remembered for that, besides having swallowed a dictionary.
Now, we're going to finish the show this week with some great local music. And Zac Mac has just released a new album called Supernatural. We're going to finish with one of the singles, which is called Believe. So thank you for watching this week. We'll see you back here same time next week. Bye-bye.
Some people say this and that, but
to go. And then one day you find
Founded on the principles of inclusivity, empowerment and positivity, I Am Beauty sponsors Robin Elliott Tonight.